guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So here for a bit of a play. I was inspired recently by Barbara at 49 Dragonflies. She was playing with making flowers and I love making flowers, as you know, and yeah, I kind of like experimenting and kind of finding new ways of making flowers. Now Barbara is super clever because she cut her flowers out by hand, and yeah, I'm not as good as that. But I had also bought these flowers a few months back, and I mean, I absolutely love these, and they were on clearance in our shop that we have here called The Range. So I picked up a couple of packets because I just thought, oh, you know, can't resist. They're, you know, on clearance. Now, I absolutely love them, but they've got this kind of, you know, lumpy bit at the back because they've got these stamen bits poked through. They then make, you know, have that kind of bit at the back, which obviously then makes that very hard to use in your journals because that's going to be hard to glue down. So I've actually subsequently, sorry, I've just knocked my scissors. I've subsequently only really managed to use these when I've used lace and things like that, because of course then, you know, if you've got sort of lace there and you stick it down, the chances are it's going to be kind of padded and therefore you can glue that down. Which, you know, that's absolutely fine. But I mean, obviously, it's better if you've got some flowers that are actually flat. So I thought I'm going to have a go at making some of my own, but try and make them a bit more dimensional, sort of more like this. So I'm just going to put that out the way, like that. And I'm going to show you what I've managed to make. I'm so sorry. Just trying to get comfortable up here. It's really hot up here today. So I've done a few videos already, and I'm just literally boiling. So I'm a bit fidgety, I'm afraid. So these are some of the flowers that I've already made, and I'm going to show you because I had been coveting these flower making tools for the longest time. I mean, I think I talked about these in my Fabulous Flowers series, which was like a year and a half ago or something. And I just couldn't bring myself to buy them because they were actually about £20, I think, back then. So I managed to find these on Amazon. They, I think, were with the clay moulding tools, and I think these were about £7, so a bit more realistic. And you know, as I say, I had sort of wanted them for a really long time, and having, you know, kind of not really spent a lot, obviously, you know, for the last few months due to the lockdown, I've been treating myself a little bit more recently to a few little things, you know, that I was kind of like, oh, thank goodness, you know, can actually now go out. Although these were from Amazon, so I could have ordered them while we were locked in, I guess. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, anyway, I have got these, and I will try and remember to link these below. Now, I also have got my flower punches. Now, I've had, you know, my flower punches for quite a while. And I've had a few sort of over the duration. But these, again, I've got a 2-inch flower punch, and it's just that kind of, well, I don't know whether you would call it daisy shape. It's got the the 6 petals like that, and then I've got the kind of identical one again with the 6 petals in the 1.5 inch. So those are the 2 punches that I'm going to use. I have also got a tiny one, which is a 1-inch punch, which again is exactly the same flower. Again, I've had that for the longest time, but to be honest, when I was then playing around with these, I don't necessarily think that you need these. I mean, of course you can use this, but I'm not sure. I think you can get away without the smaller one. So let's have a look and a bit of a play. So let me pop these out of the way. Oops, I'll just move them out the way like that. And now when I first got these, I have to confess that, you know, I couldn't quite get my flower tools to work. Well, that's not strictly true. What I'm saying is user error was I just couldn't obviously get the hang of making any flowers. So obviously, thank goodness for YouTube, I YouTubed it and found some handy kind of tips and things like that. Because initially I was kind of then on the verge of ordering another flower punch because I thought, oh, my flowers, they're not really the right sort of shapes and things like that. But having watched a few videos, and then you kind of combine people's ideas, don't you? So I've come up with something that I'm quite now liking. So let's make a few. I've got my food coloured paper here, and I've just got a pretty pink and a very pale lilac and a sort of ice blue colour. So let's make some in the ice blue first. So I'm just going to punch out a few with the large, which is the 2-inch. And I mean, again, I could probably fold this and do several, but why be efficient when you can be a slow coach? Okay, so just punch out a few like that. I probably should have punched out an equal amount. And then I'm going to take the 1.5 inch and we'll just punch a few of those out. Now, I am someone who always takes that plastic bit. You know, when you buy a punch and it has that plastic casing, the slidey bit that holds all of your petals in. I generally always take that off. I don't think I've got it on any of my punches to show you, but I just take it off and bin it because, to be honest, it gets in the way of seeing where you're actually cutting. So I prefer mine definitely without, you know, if at all possible. Actually, I will punch a couple of the small ones and then we can see, you know, which we like better. So we'll just punch. Oops, I've gone right off to the edge. What was I saying about not being able to see what I was doing? I could see what I was doing and still mucked it up. So you just can't help some people. Okay, right. Let's punch that like that. Okay. So what I've got now are obviously all my daisy shapes. Now, can you see? I mean, I just wasn't really very happy, and I'll show you why. So I didn't order these with a mat. I think the ones that are £20, they come with a mat, but I mean, who needs to pay £20 for a mat? So I've just got this piece of foam. This was from, I think it was from my silent setter thing for doing eyelets that I've had again for about 15 years. So I just grabbed the foam out of that. All you need basically is something, you know, foamy. And actually one of the videos I saw, she suggested a mouse mat. So, you know, bit of a tip there. Not the ones with the rubber coating on the top or the plastic, hard plastic coating on the top, because they're not going to work. You need the squishy ones. So the ones coated with maybe like a felt or something like that. But if I just kind of show you. So when I first got my flower tools, well, for a start, I was using obviously the really big ones because I thought, oh, that's how you kind of get them to do that shape, is the, you know, the big ones. So I was doing this and obviously, you know, really kind of making a bit of an eyesore of my flower. I also thought that the petals had to come up, and it was only from watching a few videos. Of course they don't. You want them to go down. So that was my first mistake. So then I would punch it in there and then wonder why, you know, I wasn't particularly very happy with it. So having then thought, well, I've wasted my money now completely and I'm still not going to be able to make those gorgeous flowers, I then obviously started then looking on YouTube. Now, the first tip that I saw, and I will try and remember to link this lady's video because it was so helpful and it was someone I'd not watched before, but I think she has lots of really great videos with great tips. She had a similar, well, it wasn't really similar, but she had quite a plain flower punch like this is. And what she did, she went round her ends of her flowers, just like this. And, you know, don't worry at all. They don't have to be, you know, exactly dead center or anything like that. But just snip off the ends. And straight away, it gives you a slightly more sort of sophisticated looking flower, I think. As opposed to this, which looks quite a childish looking shape. So I was really chuffed with just, you know, just even that tip I just thought was genius, to be honest. Then, of course, I'm just going to ink it up. I mean, obviously that wasn't a tip. That was just general, you know, general ink it up. So we just then ink it in with the vintage photo. I mean, I've actually over inked it really, and so now I've lost the original blue colour, but never mind. I did bring a selection of inks with me. I have got this blue, which is Salty Ocean. So let's just try a bit of this on the edge. Don't know whether I'm really making a lot of difference. So it's coming through a bit actually. So like that, just on the edges. Okay. Okay, and then you're going to turn it upside down, and then all you're going to do, now in my packet I got these other really skinny tools, more like this. Oops, this one. Now, I don't even know what I would use them for. So they're just like unopened in my drawer. But these were the more, you know, the chunkier ones, the flower shaping tools. And this one here is probably like tool number 3 in size. Okay, so you've got like the really big ball, the middle one, and then this one. And then all I'm going to do is use this end, so the smaller end of tool number 3. And of course this would depend on your size flowers. And I just press it in to the, you know, what's effectively your petal. Okay, like that. And you've got that then. And then what you do is turn it upside down, or, you know, up the right way up now. Take your bigger end and just squish it straight in the middle, like that. Okay. So straight away, it's much better. So if I then was to layer that up, so again, just take my blending tool and layer that up with this one. Now, what I did when I made mine just now, I only kind of did that shaped thing on one layer of each size, if you see what I mean. So I kept one layer in this more regular size shape petal and just did the one end. So again, I turn it face down, press in like that. Okay, turn it face up, go to the other end, and just then in the middle squish it like that. Okay, and then I can layer up my flower like that. So I'm just going to take my hot glue, because obviously I'm just doing a video here, so it's nice and quick. But the ones that I made earlier, I did actually use my wet glue, and you know, it worked perfectly fine. So you don't, you know, you don't have to use your hot glue. In fact, I've now mucked it up using my hot glue because it dried so quickly. Okay, right. There we go. So that's that one. And then what you want to do is obviously, oops, get your next size, so the sort of middle size, exactly the same. Ink them up. I'll just ink them both up. Okay, bit of the blue just to get a bit of definition at the edges, and a bit on this one as well. Okie dokie. Right, and then again I'm just going to take my scissors and just chop in to the ends. Oops. Hopefully so that it actually looks like I've chopped into the ends and not like I've done it so tiny you can't even see. Okay, right. And then again, I'm just going to turn these over on my foamy pad, take that sort of smaller end, squish it in on the end of each of the petals, turn it over, and then in the middle. Okay, and exactly the same with the other one, upside down, do the petals, squishing them like that, turn it over, and then just, you know, press the middle like that. Okay, and so then I'm going to obviously add them to my flower. So I'll just add the glue to this one this time. Okay, that one, and then the final one, this one. Oh, come on. It's actually harder with the hot glue for these flowers because they want to just stick so instantly. So that's that. And then of course, you know, we could do that middle one, which I said before that I had found I didn't really need, but let's see. You know, let's see if we do, because to be fair, you know, perhaps it would be better with the middle one. So again, just get that bit of blue going on there. Oops, might just have to go over that with a bit of brown. And again, just I mean, obviously these are pretty tiny petals now, so I could possibly do with actually swapping my tool for an even smaller one. So that size there. So this is now the smallest of the ones with the blue handle. Okay, and then I'm turning it over and again just squishing it in the middle. Okay. Oh, to be fair, I think maybe it does look nicer with the middle flower after all. I thought, perhaps it doesn't need it, but actually it does look nicer with it. Okay, right, so scrap that. So you would need the 1-inch punch. But as I say, I mean, Barbara, she just literally cut hers by hand. So you don't even need a punch at all. You know, you can get away without it. Right, so that's my little flower. Absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? Now, I'm just going to get something to have as my centre. Now, what do I want as the centre? I was kind of thinking maybe a button, but have I got any buttons that are the right size? That's the question. I've got my little buttons here in my organiser. And you know what it's like? I've probably got every button but the size that I would like. Oh, I've got a little spotty one there. Is that weird, having a spotty one? Kind of cute, but let's try that one. That one's actually a bit too big, would you believe? I might have the spotty one, but turn it upside down. That's it. Yeah, let's have that. So pop those back out the way. And then just glue that down. So again, I'm just going to hot glue this because I'm doing the video and it's just nice and quick. Okay, and we just then, oh gosh, pop that down. Oh, these are very fiddly for me. As you know, I don't really do the fiddly thing, so these are fiddly. There we go. So that's our little flower. Aren't they just so cute? Gorgeous, aren't they? Now, the other tip that I saw, which let's do with the next ones. So, oops. Again, I'm going to just ink these up. Get that glue gone. Right, I'm going to ink these up. Oops, like that. So I hope everyone's having a good day. Did you see Barbara's video with the flowers? It was a couple of weeks ago now, but yeah, it was very inspiring. So thank you, Barbara, if you happen to catch this. I really loved your flowers. She did lots of kind of Moroccan-y type flowers. You know, well, I don't know whether they were intentionally Moroccan-y, but she did say they reminded her of that kind of thing. But I don't know whether she'd set out to do that or whether they just coincidentally did. Now I'm just going to now do the next size while we're inking. So I'll just do all the stages together. So hopefully that's a little bit less kind of tedious to watch. So we'll just ink these ones up. And I mean, you don't have to worry about your inking because of course, once the flower's, you know, bent up, you really don't particularly notice, you know, how your inking was. So don't get too worried if it looks a bit messy. She says, as I really make a mess with that one. Okay, so then we just get our blue, go in on the edge. Okay, one, and then this one. Yeah, I love making flowers, to be honest. I mean, I love making paper flowers. I love making fabric flowers. I'm not sure which I prefer. I kind of thought fabric, but actually these are kind of quite fun to make. So maybe I will be converting to paper now. Right, so I'm going to do the same thing again with my decollage scissors, and they're these type. They're not the, you know, like a zigzag stitch. They're this weird kind of shape. So that's what I've chosen to use, but of course, you know, use what you've got. So again, just going to take the very end of the flower petal off. You know, really not worrying whether I'm in the middle or, you know, off to the side. Because, I mean, of course, flowers aren't perfect, are they? They're not symmetrical. They're, you know, all over the place. So don't worry too much at all. And then cut that one down as well. That one. Okie dokie. Right. Now, the other tip that I saw, that I can't remember whether I said that already, but this was where I was heading with this one, is to cut into the petal. So I'm only going to do this on the layers that I've done that thing on the edge of the petals. I'm not going to do it on the ones that I've left rounded. So, but I'm just showing you. I just snip in just a teeny bit. It really doesn't have to be, you know, very much at all. Okay. And then I'm going to do it with this one. I mean, obviously you don't want to go too far in, because then you're going to snip into your center, and if you did that on both sides, you'd end up then cutting your flower in half. So you need to be slightly, you know, slightly aware of not doing that. Okay, so I'm going to again bring my little pad in, take my medium size thingy, majiggly, and again just squish my petals like that, turn it over and do the big fat end. Well, to be honest, I'm probably better off actually still using that middle end. Okay, and then this one. And I'll just then show you. Do you see the difference? Like having those snips into like each petal, it just gives it a bit more movement, doesn't it? And, you know, kind of makes it a little bit more dimensional, I think, really, rather than kind of flat. So yeah, I really, really like that. So again, just go in with this one, turn it over, do my, oops, I might just do that petal again. Okay, and this one. Okay, turn it over. And then my baby one, just going to do with that tiny end, so in there, in there, in there, round, and then just like that. Okay, so let's then put them together and see how they look. So again, I'm going to use the hot glue because I'm filming, so it's just nice and quick. So that layer there. Oops. Okay, and then I'm going to put the other layer that I didn't do that weird snippy thing at the end of the petals. So we'll put that one there like that. Just press it in, you know, if you want to press it in with this, then you could just press it in with that. Then my next layer with the snipped in bits, and obviously those, you know, snipped in down the sides. So like that, pop that in. And then I'm just going to put my middle one, the baby one that I had originally said, oh, you don't need that one. I've done a U-turn now and decided that you do, so yeah, okay. Press that one in. Isn't that just so good? Whoa! Did you see what happened? It came across with my hot glue thread. What am I saying? Just talking rubbish now. So that's that one. And what should we put in the middle of this one? I think, let me see if I've got another teeny button. I probably haven't got a small enough button now, so just have a look. I thought that was doubtful that I would actually have any more. Well, I might have some more of those little teeny weeny buttons actually, but maybe in my drawer. So let me just have a quick look in here. Oh, yay, I have. I knew I did because they were in a little packet, and then the packet of course split, and so they, you know, they ended up all over the drawer. So yeah, I did kind of know that they'd emptied out in there, but I didn't think I'd be able to actually locate them as quick as that. Right. Tiny bit of glue. Oh, this one's got no spots anyway, so I don't have to worry about trying to get it up the right way. Okay. Just kind of press it, let's press it in with that. Yay! So that's that one. So I'm just going to show you the difference between the two, like the one that I snipped in and the one that I didn't. I mean, to be fair, they don't look vastly different. You know, maybe it's kind of all in the mind because I know that we snipped in, but I just feel like they kind of have a little bit more life in them, the ones that were snipped. So, you know, I don't know whether you can really see that, but that's those. And I'm just going to show you the ones that I didn't use, the middle smaller flower. So can you see, I mean, I personally quite like these, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with them. These, I guess, they're just a little bit more kind of layered up, really. So that's those. Now, I'm just going to show you one more thing that I did do and had a bit of a play with, which gave this kind of effect, which I don't even know if you can see that really on camera. So let's bring in a different colour so that we've got something a bit different to look at. Let me clean my piece of paper. Well, not really clean my piece of paper, but change it for something different. So let's bring in the like lavender colour. It's very pale. It's, you know, barely kind of noticeable as lavender only, I guess. So I'm just going to again go round and punch out. So we're going to take two. Oops. Oh gosh, come on. Two of the big ones and two of the middle ones. And then we're just going to do one of those little baby ones like that. Okay. Now, let me just have a look and see whether I've got any ink that's going to complement that. Because, of course, if I just go over that with the vintage photo, we're not going to have any hint of lavender left, are we? So, aha, right, I've got this colour. Shaded lilac. So let's try and use that, shall we? Okay, right. Let's see whether, oh gosh, that's not going to work, is it? It's very, very blue. Let's just see if I can get rid of that blue enough to be able to use the lavender. Shaded lilac. Nope, we're still looking very blue. Okay, had a hint of lavender there. Hint of lavender coming through. I really could do with the new lavender actually, or lilac. Lilac it's called really. Because this is not very lilac at all. It's barely noticeable, to be honest, because I've had it for a long time. It's, you know, it's beginning to dry out. So, right, let's just try one more bit. And actually, I think what I'm going to do is just try it on here. Oh. Okay. So not too bad, actually. Right, okay. So I might not even, you know, vintage photo it at all. I might just go around the edges with the lavender. So let's just get some... I don't know why I keep calling it lavender. It's lilac. So let's just go around the edges there. Like that. Okay, and this one. So how many of you guys out there have got the flower tools? Like, was I again last one at the party, or do not many of you have them? I mean, they seemed like a bit of an extravagance, I have to say. It was only because I'd wanted them for quite a long time, and to be honest, when I saw them for like the £7 as opposed to the 20, I just thought, oh, that's, you know, that's not really too bad. So whereas, I mean, £20, that's just like crazy, isn't it? So yeah, I wanted to kind of treat myself. And actually, I have to say, now having researched obviously on YouTube, I'm really pleased that I bought them. Obviously at first I just thought, oh no, this is going to be one of those silly craft mistakes that why on earth did I buy that? Which, you know, we probably all do that, don't we? But I mean, normally I have to say, you know, in my instance, it's often user error, you know, because I haven't really looked into how to use things properly. So yeah, right. Oops, I've got some that are really dark and some that aren't quite so dark, but anyway. Not too bad. Okay, so let's again snip these down. So yeah, I'm going to just this one. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I find it quite relaxing making flowers actually. There's something quite relaxing about it. So I do quite like it. It's kind of a bit addictive, I think. Well, so many of our craft, I think, is addictive. You know, I love doing most of it, to be honest. I love making the snippet rolls. I love doing the fabric snippet rolls. I love doing those Joey DeFee snippets. I like now making clusters. You know, there's loads of things that, to be honest, I'm now a little bit hooked on doing because I just love it, most of it. So, yeah. Right, now I'm going to snip in again to my shaped ones, or the ones with the shaped petal. Okay, and again with the smaller one. And then what I did was with the teeny weeny one, I just literally snipped all over it at very random, you know, not kind of focusing or anything, just literally snip into all of those petals. Like that. And I haven't particularly gone down the centre. I've just literally snipped in, you know, wherever I fancied snipping in. And again, I'm just going to, I had inked it, but actually I'm just going to ink this one a little bit more. Okay, right. And then what we're going to do is, again, take our little foamy piece and we're going to just then, again, turn it upside down, squish it in each of the petals, like that, and then over. Okie dokie. And I mean, it's quite a forgiving process. You can kind of redo it if you decide that it's not really shaped enough, or, you know, something like that. You can, I think, you know, I found you can go back in and redo it. Okay. Again, this one. I mean, actually, to be fair, I haven't tried snipping into these petals as well. So, I mean, actually, you know, it maybe would turn out even cooler if we did all of them snipped in. I don't know. Might be worth trying. And then this little baby one, the one that I snipped in, you know, literally kind of all around, you want to go just a little bit. So actually, let me use my small tool again. So like that, into your petals, because I mean they're still there basically in their shape, like that. Okay, and then turn it over and just then take it up like that, and then you've got a sort of roughly tight piece there. So again, I'm then going to just take my flowers. Again, I'm just going to use the hot glue for speed. And we're going to have the first one kind of here. Okay. Then our next one. And then this one. Oops. Oh, it's hard to see without, I didn't want to put my head right in the camera, so it's actually quite hard to actually gauge where that needed to be, but I'm standing up now to kind of look down on it. Right, okay. And then your little baby one with all those little snipped pieces, you can kind of play around and, you know, separate them out a bit. But again, you just want to then apply some glue and then just pop that down in the middle like that. I'm going to just take my little end like that. Okay, so there you've got your little kind of pieces. Again, you can kind of manipulate them a little bit and, you know, bring them up sort of as you need to, but just gives another little sort of effect there. So again, let me just bring something in to use as a center. And again, with these, I obviously use those big pearls, but obviously because I've put the tiny flower in, I think probably those pearls would be too big. I don't know, I haven't tried them, so we could try, but they might then look, you know, ginormous. Oh, actually, it doesn't look too bad. I thought they were going to just swamp that, but actually it looks okay. So let me put that button away. Whoa, come on, that's it. And I'm just going to then, oops, oh my gosh, come on. Okay, right, it's all stuck with the glue threads everywhere. So just going to apply a dot of glue. Like that. I mean, actually that has squashed that flower down considerably because it's quite a big pearl, but you know, you can bring those little petals up, can't you? Yeah, so actually in hindsight I probably wouldn't have gone with the big one, but you know, it's fine. Aren't they so pretty? I just really love them. And of course, you know, you can stamp on them, so you could have script and things like that. So let's do a pink one. So with the pink paper that I brought along. So again, it's just very subtly pink. And I'm just going to, again, punch out two big ones like that, two of the middle size, and obviously you could do this with your book page or, you know, anything at all. It doesn't have to be plain, you can do it with anything. I mean, in fact, let me bring this one in. This one I used with some printable, so it had some scripty paper and things like that. And this one here, I mixed with some book page, if you can see that bottom layer, which I actually coated with some sparkly nail varnish, so that you've got sort of another little element going on there. So, you know, you really can play around with these and do lots of different things. But for this one, I'm going to just take my brown stays on. Move these out of the way now, and my oh come on, where's my letter? No, I must have put it in my drawer now. Oh yeah, always, you know, a mistake to put things away, isn't it? So I'm just going to go over my pink, so I'm going to keep it on the pinker side, hopefully. And again, you know, really doesn't matter how your stamping is, because of course, you know, your flower is going to effectively cover up most of it. So, but you want to have it, you know, quite a bit on there, because otherwise you're not really going to see any script if it's kind of too few and far between. So again, just stamp that like that. Okay, pop that away. Now, just thinking, could we do anything else with this? Well, I guess you know what we could do? We could maybe use the little sparkly nail varnish. So now I've got this nail varnish here. Now this super cheap. This is like from Poundland or something over here. Oh, maybe not Poundland because it was £1.50, but anyway, super cheap. It's not an expensive nail varnish or anything. So of course don't use your expensive nail varnishes, but it's one of those that, you know, is so cheap it barely shows on your nails, to be honest. So one of those mistake buys, which is perfect, of course, for craft. So you could just then go around your edges. In fact, we could just kind of do that. Okay. I'll just do that sort of around all of them. Yeah, I mean, obviously I didn't buy this nail varnish specially. It was some that I'd bought, you know, a couple of years ago. And then when you get home, you find, oh, it's a bit rubbish because you can't really see it particularly. It's kind of almost completely translucent. So perfect for my daughter, actually. Yeah, so I best not show her that I'm using it for crafting, because she probably then won't be very happy. But I'm just going over all of the petals. I mean, obviously this little baby flower is pretty much kind of covering the whole flower, but that's fine. And then we'll just do these ones here. Okay. I'm actually getting obviously messier and messier as I'm painting this. So it started out, I was pretty good, and they were like little bear paws just on each of the petals, and now of course I've got scruffier and scruffier as I've painted these, so it's now pretty much the whole flower is completely covered with nail varnish, but that's fine. Okay. Okie dokie. Right, so I need to obviously leave those to dry. So while we wait for those to dry, so let's just move them out the way slightly. So whilst we wait for those to dry, let's do a couple that we perhaps glitter up. So, because I also did some, you know, some glittery ones. So let's just go again, 1, 2, and then we've got the smaller one. 1, 2, and then the baby one. Okie dokie, and again just going to snip those ends off. I really love the snipped ends. I can't tell you, you know, how much I really do like them. To me, they just changed that flower completely from looking like quite a kiddish flower to quite a sophisticated flower, which, yeah, I mean, literally was kind of at the point where it was like, these aren't going to work because my punch is rubbish. You know, it's not the right shape flower, but actually by just this little subtle thing, it completely changes the look, which, you know, is great, because of course as crafters we don't want to go buying more and more and more stuff. You know, we've got enough stuff. Well, a lot of us have. I certainly have. So I definitely didn't want to go off buying more things. So that's those. And then shall I ink these? I wonder if I could ink these a little bit with the... Oh, I might not ink these at all. Oh, well, yes, I will ink them actually. Sorry, very indecisive there for a moment. Okay, let's just ink them slightly. Not too much, hopefully. Okie dokie. And then we'll just ink that middle one. Okay, right. Move the inks out the way. Grab my little thingamajiggly. Now, again, I glittered my flowers, the ones that I did glitter, these, I glittered after I had glued them together. I don't know whether that's the best thing to do or whether I would have been better off glittering them first. Yeah, I'm not sure. But I will probably do them, you know, stick them together and glitter them after again, just because obviously I'm doing the video. So... Right, let's just go in and, oops, didn't snip into my flowers, look. And actually, let's try this where we snip into all of them. So we'll snip into this one, and we will snip into the regular shaped daisies as well. See what kind of effect that has. It may be it's too much snipping, you know, it might be we kind of compromise the flower completely as well. So... not going to do it with the baby ones because, you know, they probably don't really need it. But, you know, that might just lose its shape if I did it on those baby ones. That's that one. This one. Okay, right, we are now ready to go. So let's grab our flower tool. Now I can't remember which size I was wanting to use. I think I've ended up pulling out the big one for some reason, which I don't think I wanted to use that one, did I? I'm not sure why that's out. Anyway, so I go in with my kind of medium, sort of small, medium small, and then just turn that over, press it down. Doesn't matter which order I do these in, so I'm just grabbing whichever one is next and press that in. Okie dokie. 2, 3. Come on. Oops. Okay, press that like that. Whoops. And this one. Okay, and then, oh, what happened to my baby one? Oh, there. I thought, oh no, it's dropped on the floor, never to be seen again. Yep, never to be seen again. Right. Okay, and then just, well, turn that one over. Poke that in, okie dokie. There we go. Right. So yeah, I glued mine together and then I glittered it. I don't know. I don't know whether it would be easier to do it the other way round, but let's just try this. And don't forget, we've cut all of these petals in this time. So, you know, we're trying that out as well to see how that looks. So that one. And then we're going to have the plain one again. Like that. And then this one. Okay. Put that down there. And then we'll just have our teeny baby one in the middle. Like that. Okay. And of course as well, you can always have different colour papers like this. I've got different colour papers instead of all one colour. You know, just mix them up and just experiment and have fun. Now, if you're wondering, if you don't want to buy these tools, and I don't blame you at all, I did, when I did my fabulous flowers, I used a spoon. And, you know, that wasn't too bad, to be fair. You know, that was a good compromise, to be honest, without having to buy the tools. So, you know, I will again try and link that video below. And, you know, you might want to just check out using a spoon instead. Right, now I'm going to just go round the edges and then apply my glitter. So get my glue. This is going to be a bit fiddly. Perhaps I should have done this, you know, first. Yeah, it maybe would have been easier. I'm not sure. Don't want necessarily glitter on every single petal. She says, as she puts glitter on every single petal. But, you know, hopefully just enough for it to look really pretty and sort of super special. Okay, bit there, I think. Bit there. Okay. So hopefully that's kind of pretty well covered. It's very hard to judge, to be honest, but anyway, we're just going to then... Now, this is some Do Crafts glitter. I seem to have used all my glitter. I'm sure I can't have done. I'm sure I must have just, again, done that mistake of putting it away somewhere and then I couldn't find it, which was annoying because I don't really use glitter a whole lot, and obviously it does last a long time. So the last thing I needed to do was buy more glitter, but, you know, it was only cheap. It was only kind of £1 to buy the glitter, so it wasn't the end of the world, but yeah, just a bit annoying because I did have some glitter. So it wasn't necessary to buy some more. So that's the glittery flower. So, I mean, it looks quite pretty, doesn't it? But I mean, again, you know, could always add more now, you know, just kind of, yeah, kind of get a feel for, you know, do you want more glitter? Or, I mean, I also use glitter glue a lot. So glitter glue is always quite good, I think. Let's just see if I can press that glitter in a bit. Might have just smudged it everywhere, but no, looks okay. Okay, right, let's get all the glitter off. So really pretty, isn't it? And then of course, once that's dry, I'll put like a nice pretty center in there. But yeah, love that flower. So let me move that out the way. Put the glitter back in the tube. Yes, the glitter that I seem to have left that I could find is that big glitter, not the fine glitter. It's the, you know, the long strands of glitter, which of course they would look a little bit strandy on my flowers. Right, I've pulled these ones back in, the ones that we did with the nail varnish. Okay, so they're all dry now, and so I'm going excuse me I'm going to go in and just do the snipping of the edges. So we'll just snip these down. Okay, whoops. And then the little one. Oh, I thought that had got stuck to the paper, you know, with the nail varnish. It had kind of varnished it onto the book page, and I thought, oh no. Now we're going to have to wait for more to dry. But no, luckily was able to pick it up. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to leave these two, and we're just going to snip in here. I mean, again, I haven't tried snipping into all of the petals, you know, snipping the edge of all of the petals, and maybe that would look lovely. So, I mean, just literally experiment. And as I say, I mean, if you haven't got those tools, I wouldn't blame you at all for not wanting to buy them, because, you know, it's taken me like 18 months of wanting them to actually buy them. Then just, you know, try using a spoon, like the end, if you've got a spoon that's quite pointy and shaped at the end, or you could use, you know, maybe like the end of a paintbrush or something like that, maybe would use, you know, would work just as well. So don't think that you have to have the tools. Right, okay, let's go in and press here. Again, just press that up. Right, so did you hear that noise? It's kind of gone a little bit sort of hard and sort of cracky kind of effect. It doesn't look cracked, but it did sound like it was kind of wanting to crack. So whether that's a sign that, you know, it could crack, I don't know. And again, maybe it depends on the nail varnish, I'm not sure, but this one seems fine actually. So again, it's quite a nice different effect, isn't it, to have the metallic from the nail varnish. And I did try painting some flat nail varnish on a piece earlier, and it looked rubbish. That was just my opinion. But, you know, like, it's very fashionable, isn't it, at the moment, to have, like, matte colours, or flat matte colours, more like this type of thing, without any sort of sheen. I tried painting that on some paper earlier. It looked rubbish. So personally, I think for, you know, for crafting, I will stick with this kind of thing. But again, you know, that's just maybe personal choice. So, you know, play around and see what you think. Okay, so this one, again, turn it over. And I've got my baby one, so I'm just going to take my teeny end. Okay. And then we'll just turn that over. Squish it in the middle. Okay, right. Let's glue these together. I mean, these are my first ones that I've done that are completely metallic, I have to say. So I really love the look of them so far. They're really pretty. Really pretty. So yeah, I may have to make some more of these because they look gorgeous. Okay. I love a bit of shimmer. I know it's not probably everyone's cup of tea, but yeah, for me, I just think, oh, pretty. You know, really, really pretty. Okay, and then this one. Okie dokie. Then we'll just put that teeny one in. Like that. And again, I'm just going to press that in with this. There we go. Isn't that just such a dreamy, gorgeous flower? Oh, I just absolutely love it. Right, let's pick a centre for that. Did we say that we did use a pearl for that one with the teeny centre? Did we use a pearl? Oh, don't know whether we did. Didn't there. Right, okay, I know what I've got. So in my drawer behind me, of these coloured pearls. So I'm just wondering if we could have a coloured one. It's quite big still, but oh, isn't that scrumptious? Oh yeah, I love that. Right, let's go for that. Okay, right. Let me just glue this in and then we'll just quickly have a look at all the ones that we've done. Oh, and actually I'm now thinking, you know the one that we just glittered? I mean, obviously that glitter's not dry yet, but thinking maybe a pink centre for that too. So let's move this stuff out the way and pull them in and maybe just put a centre into that one. So hold on. This is them. Aren't they just gorgeous? I just love them. Yeah, that one's definitely my favourite. It kind of stands out a mile for me, like from all the others. Let me just grab in a pearl. And actually I'm going to go for one of those smaller ones, I think. So hold on. Oops. No, I just can't pick it up. Hang on a moment. Okay, because it's come off of the cellophane. So that one there, I think. So let's just glue that. Oh my gosh, this is going to be super fiddly. Oh no, don't want my hot glue to dry before I've actually stuck the pearl in. There we go. Okay, and just press that in like that. Yay, there we go. Aren't they just divine? I just love, love, love them. So yeah, ooh, pulled it off with a hot glue thread again. So yes, I may have to just continue playing now and make some more flowers. But yeah, I hope that you like them and thank you so much for joining me. Obviously, as I say, I will link these tools. I'm not sponsored by these tools or anything like that, or the makers of these tools or sellers of these tools or anything. But I just thought that they were a good price. I mean, obviously I don't know how much these tools are around the world, but certainly here in the UK, they're pretty pricey. So I will link them, but please don't forget, you know, you can use a spoon and things, so you do not have to have these tools. But I hope that it's given you some ideas and inspiration for making some little paper flowers of your own. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully see you all again soon. Thanks then. Bye.